The Knicks were forced to shut down an insane trade request. And the only reason New York would have to do this is because a team was stupid enough to ask for one certain player, a superstar player on this Knicks team. Also, an NBA insider reveals what players the Bucks could want back in a Giannis trade. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. This episode is presented by FanDuel. If you're enjoying the content, please hit that subscribe button and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new content. And now, let's get started. Knicks shut down insane trade request. Let me clear up a little misconception that's going around. The Knicks absolutely tried to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo this offseason. A real legit deal was on the table. Shout out to John Macri and all the great people over at Knicks Film School. Recently, on one of their new episodes, they had NBA insider and Knicks insider Ian Bagley on the show. And on that show, he stated the following regarding the Knicks and that Giannis situation. And here's what he had to say. According to Bagley, in checking around on this, I think the Knicks did make a real offer. However you want to categorize them, I think real offers were on the table. This is regarding that exclusive negotiating window the Knicks had with Giannis and the Bucks during a certain point during the offseason. So we know trade offers were made. Legit offers were on the table. Now, we don't know exactly what those offers were, but one thing we know for certain. The Knicks felt the need to shut down trade requests for their superstar player, Jalen Brunson. Now, the only reason New York would have to do this is because a team, whether they were joking or not, likely asked for Jalen Brunson via trade. And the Knicks shut it all down like we all knew they were going to do. But imagine that, asking for a player like Jalen Brunson. Ask yourself, when New York was trying to go after KD, did you hear anything about Brunson? Did New York feel at that time that they needed to shut down trade requests for Jalen Brunson? No, they didn't. But this time around, with the Bucks, they made it clear. Jalen Brunson is not on the table, and he will never be on the table. Shout out to The Athletic and NBA insider Sam Amick for giving us this following information. According to him, he states the following. Team sources have made it clear that the Knicks point guard Jalen Brunson was, as expected, untouchable in these trade talks. The only reason you shut down a trade request is because someone was stupid enough to ask for him. I don't know how much easier I can put this, how much easier I can say this. Jalen Brunson is not available. He will never be available. He is going to retire a Knick. He is going to be a Knick for the rest of his NBA career. We need to stop this. It needs to stop immediately. Please, never, ever ask for the captain, because clearly the answer is no. So if not Jalen Brunson, if New York will not give up Jalen Brunson in any trade, then who else would the Knicks give up? Who else would the Milwaukee Bucks want in a trade that would get the Knicks Giannis Antetokounmpo? Well, according to this NBA insider, it's three specific players. Amick continues here by stating, in terms of possible players being involved, the common sense lens turns toward Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and Mitchell Robinson from there. And likely, you're probably going to have to include Mikal Bridges in that conversation as well. But if we're talking about OG Anunoby, I am sorry. Any deal that involves OG Anunoby in it, I am automatically rejecting and declining. On this team, Jalen Brunson is a superstar. Now, OG Anunoby, maybe he's not a superstar, but the way he plays defense, his two-way presence, when he's on the floor for New York, how much better and different in the best possible way the Knicks look compared to when he's not on the floor. That's OG Anunoby. And I understand it's for Giannis. But even for Giannis, there's a line, there's a level that you don't go beyond. You can't gut this team, get Giannis, and be happy. And the Knicks, they understand that just as well as I do. They want Giannis. I want Giannis. A lot of you guys want Giannis, but you want Giannis just like I do. You want him to join a team, to form a monster roster. You don't want to gut the team in order to get that player. And the Knicks, they're feeling the exact same way. That's why ultimately they did not trade for Giannis this offseason. But even if the Bucks had interest in a package involving several of those players, the Knicks are known to have concerns about the possible roster imbalance that could result from a deal of this magnitude. That doesn't mean they don't have interest. They absolutely do. You need me to read that again? Everybody on the same page? Everybody understand where we are? The Knicks may not want to make a deal of that magnitude, but they are absolutely interested and are still interested in Giannis. But we've seen plenty of proof these past few years that Antetokounmpo's impact alone simply isn't enough. As the Oklahoma City Thunder and Indiana Pacers showed in the finals, depth and diversity of talent is the modern day way to the mountaintop. All of which is to say that the Knicks, who were quite perturbed by the tumult caused by this latest report, appear fully focused on making a legitimate title run with this group. Whatever happens next, from their standpoint, will depend greatly on whether they're able to live up to their own lofty expectations in the season to come. I mean, you have to understand where the Knicks are coming from. Every time you look at a superstar, you have to think about the cost, the risk to the roster, and what it means for your future. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a generational talent. Of course the Knicks want him, especially because he's in his prime. He's probably 4 or 5 years away before that athleticism conversation is actually a real conversation. Right now, he's in the prime of his career. He's still putting up the numbers that legitimately could earn him another MVP award, and it looks like he's just trying to get better each and every year. When he finds a weakness to his game or he knows he needs to improve, he starts to work with the greats around the league. Even recently, he stated himself he wants to work with Knicks legend Carmelo Anthony to get better with his shot. Giannis understands as he ages, he needs to add more to his game and get better as a player. You love to see this future sight with any player in the NBA, especially superstars. However, even though New York likely wants Giannis, they have to call it quits at some point. They have to cross a line and say, no, we cannot do this anymore. Jalen Brunson is off the table. I think OG Anunoby is off the table. I think there are only a couple of players on this team the Knicks would want to part with to get a player like Giannis. And it would really depend on how the NBA Finals go. I think I speak for everyone. We believe, at least I do, that the New York Knicks will be getting to the NBA Finals this season. And I believe they're going to make it a very competitive series, and I hope they can pull out the victory. But if they don't, and the reason they don't is because of some issue in their front court, then I think this summer the summer of Giannis, the Knicks pull the trigger and make a trade for Giannis. But if they win a championship, maybe they show interest, but maybe not the same level. It really does depend. You don't want to blow up a championship roster, but if you were this close, and the reason you were this close but failed was because of a front court player, you're likely going to make a move to move one of those players, deal them to another team, and make your team better by trying to get a superstar, a player like Giannis. And speaking about the NBA Finals, shout out the channel sponsor FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, for giving us this updated information and these latest odds on who's going to win the NBA Finals this season. And as you can see, OKC is on top at plus 210. Then you have the Cavs at plus 650. Then the Nuggets at plus 750. But it seems like the Knicks odds keep on slipping in the opposite direction. Now the New York Knicks, they're still in 4th place on this list, but their odds, they've slipped slightly, moving from plus 1,000 to now plus 1,100. Then you have the Lakers after them at plus 1,500. Then we have a new player in the rankings, the Clippers, at plus 1,600. And they finish rounding out this list. It may sound obvious to say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. The Milwaukee Bucks and the New York Knicks, they're moving in opposite directions. Their goals are the same: win a championship. But the Knicks, they're actually moving in that direction. The Milwaukee Bucks, I have no idea what direction they're trying to move in. They're telling everybody who will listen they're a championship contender. But when you look at FanDuel, Vegas, and everybody whose job it is to predict these things, to show which teams are the favorites to get there, the Bucks, they're nowhere in sight. And that's not by accident. Giannis's final year in Milwaukee is this season. This summer, he's requesting a trade, and he is leaving Milwaukee. And right now, the Knicks are perfect. They're in great shape. This season, they're trying to win a championship, and I believe in my heart they will. And then this offseason, they're going to have to make some roster decisions, and I'm sure that they will, including a potential trade for Giannis, because it will be on the table once again. I guarantee it. But as of today, New York is going after their #1 goal, a championship. Then goal #2, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo, that comes later. But either way, it's a very bright future ahead for the New York Knicks. But what about you guys? What do you think about the Knicks shutting down trade requests for their superstar point guard, Jalen Brunson? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.